The question is to determine resultant for a coplanar force system. The side of the square is 0.5 meter each. Forces are acting like 600 Newton at 45 degree, 200 Newton, 500 Newton, and 400 Newton and 700 Newton. First of all, we will determine summation Fx. So summation Fx is resolving all the forces in horizontal component and keeping it here. So minus 600 cos 45 plus 500 cos 30 minus 400 cos 45, that are all horizontal forces. Then all vertical forces, the vertical component of this 600 minus 600 sin 45 plus 200 plus 500 sin 30 minus 400 cos 45 minus 700. This all has been written here. We have calculated summation fx and summation fy, and finally fr is summation of under fx square plus fy square, that is this. Now both fx and fy is negative, that means this angle, this is going to act like this, minus fx and minus fy, and fr is going to act like this. So this is going to be in this quadrant, and this angle theta can be determined by summation fy upon summation fx. So this theta can be determined. Now to find out the point of application, we have to apply Lamy's theorem. So we'll apply Lamy's theorem. We wish to determine the distance x where this is cutting and fr is intersecting x-axis, you can say. So how to apply the Veralyn theorem? We'll apply the Veralyn theorem, that is moment of the resultant, that is fr, made up of summation fx and fy, that is the moment of summation fx and fy about A is equal to summation of moment of all these forces about point A, that we have written here. 600 cos 45 into 0.5, it is 600 cos 45 into 0.5, then 200 into 0.200 into 0.5, then 500 sin 30, 500 sin 30, that is like this, into 0.5, 500 cos 30 into 500 cos 30. This is the line of action, this is the perpendicular distance. Rotation is indicating clockwise, is taken as negative. Similarly 400 is resolved as minus 400 sin 45, and the distance is 0.5 by 2, is equal to movement of resultant. It is made of fx and fy. Summation fx will have 0 movement, summation fy will have summation fy into x movement, and again the direction is clockwise. Everywhere minus is indicating clockwise and plus is indicating minus is indicating clockwise and plus is indicating anti-clockwise direction. So we have written this Veralyn theorem to determine the value of x. The value of x comes to be minus 0.27. The meaning of this is that the resultant is going to be 0.027 meter on the negative side of A. Now if we know this, our answer is complete. But if we want to know the perpendicular distance, that is what is the perpendicular distance of A to this fr, then we can also do this. Instead of taking fx and fy, we can say moment of this all, summation of moment of this all is fr into d. So this can be calculated like this: moment of all the forces, that is the left hand side of this, is equated to fr into d. Instead of summation fx into d, summation fy into x, will do fr into d. With this we can determine d, that is the perpendicular distance from here to here. This can also be determined if I can make the triangle for this. So this distance is x, this angle is theta, this is d distance. So d can be calculated as x sine theta. So this is d can be calculated by this equation, or d can be calculated by this if we know the x and theta. So this is how we can determine the value of x, y or d as per the requirement. X is the intercept of resultant on x-axis, y is the intercept of resultant on y-axis, d is the perpendicular distance of line of action of fr from point A. So anything whatsoever we want, we can determine. Ultimately, we are supposed to determine three things to finally define the resultant force: the magnitude, the direction, and point of application can be shown by x or by d or y, whatsoever is asked. If nothing is asked, we can directly calculate d or x or y, anything that is going to be acceptable. So this is how we can determine the resultant of a coplanar force system.